Are low-calorie diets actually unhealthy? Well, you might be surprised to know in a new study done in Nutrients, one of the most prestigious journals in the world, it's pretty shocking what they revealed. Hello, my name is Peter Greenlaw. I started the New Health Conversation movement, which is a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office, and something I think we sorely need because the current one I don't really think is working. We're devoted at the New Health Conversation to only one thing, and that's to bring you real scientific evidence, not Peter Greenlaw's opinion or any of my associates, not celebrity endorsements. We only rely on hard science for this reason. Science has no emotions, it doesn't have any judgment, it just is. Now, you're welcome to do whatever you want to do after I share this information with you, because I'll tell you this, you can go on any diet out there and you will absolutely lose weight. But now what we're beginning to find out is that weight loss is actually really, really unhealthy, because on pretty much every diet now that's been in, actually every diet, the majority of what you're losing is lean muscle mass. And when that happens, bad things happen. One of the things it does is slows down your metabolism. When you slow down your metabolism, you literally can't burn as many calories. That's why you plateau on a diet, or that's why you come off the diet, you gain everything back. So in this study, which was done in Nutrients on low calorie diets, I'm going to read from the study. I don't want you to believe me about the adverse effects. Exposure to low-calorie diets is associated with reductions in muscle mass and increased osteoporosis risk in obese individuals. What? I better read that again. Low-calorie diets are associated with reductions in muscle mass and increased osteoporosis risk in obese individuals. They go on to say later in this study, remember, they did this study, okay? Reduced muscle mass is an established risk factor for osteoporosis and has been associated with functional impairment in obese individuals. What? So you're going on a diet and it's actually making you unhealthy? Well, according to this and according to many, many other studies, the problem is that, yes, you can lose weight on any diet. Heck, you could go on the donut diet and you lose weight. But let's just talk about the fundamentals, just so you know. I'm not trying to convince you, I want to educate you. The calorie reduction is ridiculous. Here's why. The human body doesn't know what a calorie is. The human body doesn't count calories. The only way you can measure calories is in a laboratory. Why are we counting calories? Because these experts, with all due respect, the doctors, the dietitians, the fitness gurus, the hacks, the people that are on all these social media platforms, they give you all this stuff, but they don't have one shred of medical evidence behind it. The medical evidence is coming not from those particular protocols, but through these other scientific journals that say, now, wait a minute, we got 80% of America overweight, 50% of those people are obese, 50% of our kids are overweight, 25% of those kids are obese, 50% of Americans is estimated are pre-diabetic. And the CDC came out and said 92.3% of the population is metabolic and healthy with 3 of 5 factors. If you're overweight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. Are you kidding me? Why do we keep doing this? It's ironic that the background really reminds me of 550 years ago. I wasn't around, but I know what the consensus was. The smartest people in the world said what? That world out behind me, just flat. It's not round. Earth is not round. How'd that turn out? So now what are they telling us? They all these diet gurus, I mean, I just look at the evidence. If 80% of Americans are overweight, do you need to know much more? And you're going to embark on a diet that basically is going to produce weight loss that's unhealthy for you. Really? That's what we're doing? The sad part is, yes, that's what we're doing. And at the New Health Conversation, we want to expose you to what you're not seeing in the mainstream media, that the celebrities and all these people are telling you, because it doesn't work. Now that I've cheered everybody up, I want to give you some really great news. After 40 years of research, there's finally a major breakthrough in weight loss. It's published in 2 medical journals, in the Nutrition Journal and in the Obesity Journal. These studies are so revolutionary that the researchers were shocked. They actually ran the results 3 different times. These researchers have been looking for the silver bullet for weight loss for almost 40 years. And they've always done stool, urine, and blood analysis. When they got the results back, they were so shocked they reran them 3 different times. So what were the results? Well, the studies were made up of 80% women, 20% men. First caveat, no one was allowed to exercise. What? Yeah, because they didn't want exercise to be an outlier. They wanted to see if this new protocol, which is based on intermittent nutritional fasting, not intermittent fasting. You don't eat for 16 hours, you eat for 8. By the way, that's one of the worst things you could ever do, not eating until noon, because your body needs nutrients when we wake up in the morning from the nutrients that were depleted when we're sleeping. I don't have time to get into all that now, but that's unfortunate that that's the way it works. Now, in these studies, men and women with no exercise lost as much weight in 30 days as in 12 months of other diets. And unlike the loss of muscle mass that was proven in all these other studies, they gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. That's crazy. In a good way, it's crazy. And that wasn't the tip of the iceberg. In 8 weeks, they reduced their visceral fat by 33%. So you got two kinds of fat on your body, the outer layer that's called subcutaneous or adipose, maybe you've heard that word, or your visceral fat. Visceral fat is the dangerous fat in the body. And now we know something that we didn't know until 2006, and that is, well, this isn't a shock. We're living in a very toxic world. The water, the air, the food loaded with toxins, chemicals. As they enter our body, we now know the body's taking those chemicals and stuff them inside our visceral fat. That's why it's almost impossible with sit-ups and crunches in the gym to lose that, especially as you get older. Now you have that muffin top or kangaroo pouch or whatever you want to call it around your middle. But it makes sense because your kidney and your liver are sitting there, from basically your breastbone, your abdomen, and your stomach. The body's trying to protect those vital organs by building this wall of visceral fat around it. But the visceral fat's containing these chemicals. So in the studies, what else did they see? They saw that this protocol was removing the chemicals from the visceral fat. That's why it was shrinking away. And in its place, they were making lean muscle. No diet's ever demonstrated anything even close to that, not even in the same zip code. But that wasn't even the best part. People saw reductions in blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides in 30 days. And inflammation went down by 25% in a month. Hunger went down 41% in 30 days. Why? Because this wasn't based on calories. This is not a diet. Because the food we're ingesting is calorie dense and nutritionally bankrupt. That's just the way it works. And so the researchers couldn't believe it, that people were losing weight at those rapid rates and gaining lean muscle and reducing all those other metabolic factors. Here's the good news. If you want, click on the link below, go to our website. Those studies are there. No messing around. When you have a peer-reviewed human trial study, it's bulletproof. It's already been proven, or what they've done is they try to disprove it to believe it or not. So by the time if it's published and it's peer-reviewed human trial and they endorse it, run to it. So hopefully it'll go there. There's a little form at the bottom. You can fill it out if you want. You don't have to. There's no obligation. It's free to go there. And that will contact us and we will set up a free consultation with you. Now, why do we need to do that? Because we got people that want to gain weight. We don't know what your situation is. Are you on meds? I mean, we need to have that information before we're going to start to give you advice. Now, again, we're not curing, we're not diagnosing, we're not doing anything like that, okay? But we're going to give you the absolute explanation. What did they do in these medical studies? What did they consume? When did they consume it? How did they consume it? Because part came from the grocery store and then part came from 5 elements that they used in the research that literally came from all over the world, from Bangladesh and Russia and China and Mongolia, even from Tibet, literally from the side of the Himalayas, and South America and New Zealand. So I hope this has been useful to you, and I would encourage you, maybe inspire you, not order you. But aren't you a little bit curious? And it's okay if you're skeptical. You would have to be skeptical. This is so far to the norm, but I say this in closing. Just because it was never invented doesn't mean it wasn't possible. So I hope you will go there, and we'd be happy to do a free consultation, not a sales call. We're not going to convince you. We're not going to try and sell you, but you may sell yourself after you really find out the real truth.